The final update of February starts with the European passerine. The bird Abrina Noord was occasionally reported this week, but it seems to be harder to spot than last week, judging by the information in the reports and the lack of good photos. 3 birds were also reported at Hoek van Holland. The Richards pipit at St. Philipsland proved to be a popular destination this week, with nearly 50 reports. The bird is often seen there in the company of a meadow pipit, both on the dike and on the ploughed field inland. In Rijswijk, a yellow-browed warbler suddenly appeared in a garden, and I emphasize yellow-browed because in winter the hume-sleeve warbler is the more common of the two. However, the bird was not twitchable based on the fact that it was reported by only one observer, and wintering yellow-browed warblers usually attract some interest. Fortunately, the discoverer managed to photograph the bird, and the photos clearly show a relatively green warbler with pale legs and a light bill, good pointers for a yellow-browed warbler compared to humes. There's also news about the Siberian lesser whitethroat. Last week I mentioned that the bird had only been reported 3 times, and I was concerned about its well-being. My worries seemed justified, as I received a private message saying that the bird indeed appeared to be struggling. It was less active and no longer chased away other birds as it had done so aggressively before. Then we had several cool days, which likely proved too much for it. In any case, many thanks to the residents who kindly allowed numerous birders access to their garden to see and photograph the bird. However, this week another lesser whitethroat of likely eastern origin appeared. It was found in Huizen and successfully twitched by one birder. This is already at least the 3rd record of a presumed eastern lesser whitethroat this winter. There were 2 reports of waxwing again this week. Unfortunately, both were undocumented sightings of birds flying over. However, since the species has a rather distinctive call, I'm mentioning them anyway. Will we get a properly twitchable bird this early spring, or will we have to hope for a new influx next autumn? This week, only 2 locations reported hooded crows, at Kwadehoek and Zijen. It also became clear that the bird at Zijen is definitely not the one from Hooghalen. A closer look at the best photos of the latter revealed subtle features indicating some carrion crow influence. There was some dark patterning on the undertail coverts, and the bird's neck was also a bit too dark. These features are not present in the Zijen bird, which appears to be a pure hooded crow. It was last reported on the 20th, so is it still there? I wouldn't bet on it. The concerns I had last week about our Ameland hoopoe turned out to be unfounded. After birding friend Willem Bosma had dipped the bird earlier, he finally managed to find it at the holiday park last week. The bird was also reported and photographed several more times later in the week. Now for a new species for the 2025 reports. The first confirmed glossy ibis of the year appeared in the north of Overijssel last week. It turns out these first records of the year are popular destinations, with around 60 reports of this bird. In recent years, we've seen more small groups of this species appearing in the Netherlands, but unlike in the UK, it is yet to start breeding here. Another species that could potentially attempt to breed in the Netherlands in the near future is the pygmy cormorant. Although we still only have about 10 records in the country, sightings have been increasing rapidly in recent years. More importantly, many of these birds are staying for extended periods, increasing the chances of finding a mate. It's not there yet, but the Lelystad bird remains a highly popular attraction, with around 50 reports again this week. With about 40 reports this week, the self-found great northern diver at the Paterwoldse Meer remains a popular target. Or is the bird simply a nice bonus while searching for the also present velvet scotus and redneck grebe? That was certainly the case for me a few times, as those latter species turned out to be significantly harder to find than the diver. More on that in one of the upcoming episodes of the 250 bird challenge on this channel. Other great northern divers were reported again at the Brouwersdam and on the Haringvliet. There was also a new bird in the Biesbos, found during the monthly Waterbird count. The glaucous gull at IJmuiden was reported only about 15 times this week. Not too surprising, as most birders who wanted to see it have probably already been there. The second calendar year bird that had already been seen twice on Texel this winter was reported from Den Helder this week, where it was flying behind a fisheries research vessel. Later in the week, it was seen on site in Imokbai. After a long absence, the bufflehead suddenly reappeared among the other diving ducks in the Pampashaven near Almere last Sunday. Will the bird finally remain twitchable for a while? It would be great if its legs could be properly photographed to confirm that it is truly unringed as suspected, so it can be officially accepted. Judging by the information in the reports, the chances of seeing the spectacled eider up close are currently very slim. Most of the time, the bird stays hundreds of meters from shore. It's still enjoyable to see through a telescope, but much too far for photos. Only on Sunday was there a report of it being close, but even then, judging by the back of camera shots, it wasn't that impressive, assuming the observer had a decent camera, of course. On the bright side, it's becoming increasingly pleasant to spend extended periods on the dike. Last Friday, temperatures in the Netherlands even exceeded 15 degrees Celsius, which is far better than freezing for hours. Lesser scaups continue to appear in new locations. The bird from Laaksum suddenly showed up further away in the harbour of Stavoren this week. It was later reported back on the IJsselmeer near Laaksum, but no photos were provided, and with a hybrid tufted duck greater scaup in the area, I can't say with 100% certainty that the lesser scaup had returned to its old spot. Another bird also appeared in Flevoland at a new location. While the last one there was seen on the province east side, this time a bird was found on the west side, in the Bovenwater south of Lelystad. Additionally, the well-known bird at the Vogelmeer was still seen this week. Both ringneck ducks are still present, and they will likely stay for a while. They often don't leave until April or even May. The bird in the dunes still seems uninterested in sharing a lake with the lesser scaup, which also comes from America, as it remained on a dune lake again this week. That brings us to the Baikal teal. Only one was seen this week, the bird at Sint Pancras. That's not too surprising, as this bird is easier to visit than the one at the Onlanden. You don't even need to leave your car for the Sint Pancras bird, whereas the Onlanden bird requires a walk. On top of that, the Onlanden bird is often absent, making it an unreliable bet. Lastly, with the escaped blue-wing teal in the mix, its chances of being accepted might be lower. Personally, I don't feel the urge to visit the Letterbetter for this bird, but since I live near the Onlanden, I'd love to discover it myself at a slightly different location, something you definitely see in one of my vlogs. We'll wrap up this video with an announcement. February is now nearly over, which means migration will start picking up more and more. To close out the winter season, my next rare bird update will be a full review of the first 2 months of the year. I've also posted a poll on my channel asking which day would be best for a potential third video. If you are a regular viewer, I'd really appreciate it if you cast your vote. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when a new video goes live. See you next time.